Hey there, Wranglers. How you doing? I am back, and I've got some. I got a request, and I'm going to cover this story about because I've been doing a lot of debunking lately and doing some reviews. So I'm going to talk today about a story that I actually don't want to debunk, or I would debunk it if I thought it was debunkable. Could be. Let me get right to it. The Travis Walton abduction case. Okay, this is one of the most convincing UFO abduction cases that I've heard. Now, let me make it very clear how I feel about abductions. I think most of the abduction stories we hear are BS. Okay, I don't think that a lot of aliens are going to fly that far, millions and billions of miles across space just to, beam us up and probe us. When they could probably do that by scanning us or something along those lines. And I just don't think there's that many aliens crawling around Earth, abducting people. In general, I would think personally, I think well over 90% of the abduction cases you hear about are baloney. Okay, this is one that I don't think is baloney. I think it's legit, um, and it's held up over time. Now, I'm going to tell you the story, and I'm going to tell you why I believe it, and then I'm going to deal a little bit with people who have tried to debunk it and go from there. This happened in. Let me. Excuse me. I know my glasses can be annoying. I'm going to get some lighting to fix that. But let me put these on for just a moment so I can see this. This happened in November 5th, 1975, and it happened in the Sitgreaves National Forest in Arizona. And if I pronounce that wrong, Sitgraves. I'm sorry, not Sitgreaves. Sitgraves National Forest in Arizona. And this happened to a man named Travis Walton. He was one of a group of 7 loggers who were logging in the area. Well, they had a contract to clean up underbrush in the area to help prevent fires. And 2 of these men, one of his name was Mike Rogers, another one is John Galay, and there was 7 of them in total that went through this experience. And what happened is they'd been working a full day, and it had gotten dark, and they're sitting in a truck, and they see a strange light approaching. Okay, and this light gets near them and they go up to, they take the truck and they drive up a little bit to go see where the light is, I believe. And there's this golden kind of glow illuminating everything, and there is a small craft sitting there spinning and buzzing and all that. Well, for whatever reason, they're all frightened except Travis gets out of the truck, and he wants to get up closer to the thing, so he walks over there. The thing starts to react. Okay, he jumps behind a log and then jumps up again, and this thing, the guys are all yelling at him, get back in the truck, get back in the truck. And he gets zapped. Something zaps him. Boom! Like a ray of some kind, a discharge, some kind of a electromagnetic discharge zaps him and knocks him flat. These guys all freak out. Okay, the ones left in the truck, and they run. They don't run. They get in the truck and they drive away. Mike Rogers says that he felt, no, this isn't right. We can't leave Travis there. So they turn around, and I don't think all of them turned around. I think some of them got out of the truck, which I don't know if I would makes any sense if they're scared or not. But anyway, the point is, they turn around in the truck, they go back, and they look for Travis. Travis is not there, and this thing is gone. Okay, they saw it kind of disappear over the. They saw a quarter mile away. They saw the thing moving. Not necessarily the craft, but the light moving off. Travis is gone. Well, they book it down this mountain road, trying to get to where, down into civilization or whatever. And takes a bit. If you've ever driven mountain roads at night, you don't drive them fast. You just don't, or you end up in the ditch. So they get down there, and they're stuck with that dilemma. Now let's take the story back to what happened to Travis Walton. He says he wakes up on a table. There's these alien looking things looking at him. He gets really scared, tries to fights one of them off. He's, fighting around on the table. They calm him down. They want to calm him down, and they bring in another human who's got a kind of a spacesuit looking deal on. And this other human takes him to another room, and they put a plastic mask over his face, and he's remembers parts of this. And his memory on this part is he is compromised, I'd say, from this experience and from getting zapped and all of that. So this is what's happening to Travis. Now, what's happening to the other guys is they get down, they tell the police and all this that Travis is missing, and they explain what they saw. At first, they think it's either a hoax or nobody believes them. In fact, they quickly start to think that these guys murdered Travis. So the police and they go up to look for him, and the next day, the families are out there looking for him. Travis's two brothers are looking for him, and one brother is getting in. He gets into a confrontation with some of these guys, and is like, "Where's my brother? You killed him." And they're like, "We didn't." And it's getting to heated, serious thing. Another one of the brothers is the same way, but after a bit, he you know, starts to maybe believe it, and so they're up there tearing up the brush, the piles of underbrush and all that they've stacked to see if Travis's body's in there. Well, this goes on, and the suspicion rises. People in the town are, looking at these guys like they're, bastards, and they're all sticking to the story. After about 6 days and 7 hours, I believe it was, uh, they get a call. I believe it's uh, Travis's brother gets a call, and it's Travis, and he's at a gas station outside of town, and they go and they find him. Travis is dehydrated. He's out of it. He can barely speak, but they find him. Okay. When he's able to come around, they basically um, he tells his story like I described it, and you know, whether they believe him or not, some do, some don't. Some think it's a hoax. Some of them, and I'll tell you why they think they're doing this. Um, they bring in investigators. Okay, they want to see what's going on, and all these guys pass polygraph tests except for one. One of them has a questionable result, but the other ones have passing results, and they give them multiple tests at this during this time period, and they all of them, all they do pass all these tests. And to this day, so far, even when I don't think they've been tested anymore, they can get sick of it. They're still sticking to the stories to this day. And these guys were friends to some extent, but now I wouldn't say close friends. They're more like work colleagues. Okay, they weren't super tight group. Some of them didn't even get along with each other, but they're all telling the same story. And they polygraph Travis, and they ask him, and it's this. They all the polygraphs come out as legit. Now, I don't particularly believe that polygraphs are 100%. I don't even think they should be allowed in court. But usually, when you have this many people, taking a polygraph about something, you're going to get mixed results. I would have said, maybe most of them wouldn't read, I know most of them, half would at least read false, half would at least read true. Some of them would be inconclusive like the other guy. But we had all true, one inconclusive out of 7 people. So this is, Travis tells a story, and to this day, this is the story he's stuck to. There's a movie about it called Fire in the Sky, which is a really good movie. You got to see that movie. It's really thorough. It does a really good job and really good acting, really good story. Robert Patrick, the guy that played Terminator 2, he's one of the main characters in it. And Fire in the Sky, check it out on IMDb. So this is what happened. Now, people that want to debunk it, say that, well, what this was Mike Rogers, Travis's friend who had the contract to clear this brush, was falling behind and not getting paid and he wanted to get paid his money, so they made up this hoax to get himself paid and get himself out of the contract. Um, I I don't buy that. Okay, let me tell you why I don't buy that. You've got 7 basically, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean in a good way. Tradie type working guys are not going to come up with a UFO abduction story if they want to out of something. I mean, it just that part. UFOs weren't popular back then as they are now. I mean, people were they were mystified by the stories, but it wasn't something that gets thrown around today. Like we have the Navy chasing them, and I've got another story where I saw one, and I've got a very clear picture of it in there. Go look on my videos, you'll see it. The activity and the interest and the willingness to accept it just wasn't there in 1975 as it is today. And to come out with a UFO story to try to get out of a logging contract is nonsense. It would probably ruin your reputation forever. Um, if you get called out on this kind of thing, and your employers would lose trust in you and all that kind of thing. They basically, or they say that that was one of the reasons that kind of hoax to get out of a logging contract doesn't make any sense to me. Other people say, "Oh, Travis was a UFO freak, and his family weren't surprised that he claimed to be abducted and that kind of thing." Don't know about that. I've heard that said. Not sure I'm going to buy it, but that the things that were said were like, oh, when they asked his mom, she said maybe we should call the search. He's probably not on this in this world anymore. She might have meant he was dead, but they were trying to. Oh no, she meant that he thinks that she knows that he was gonna pull this abduction card. Well, I don't. Whatever, that could have been her, but then his brothers were in on it. But his brothers were starting fights with these guys, and heated things. The whole town was against them. It was just, you know, uh, hating on him. Okay, this is no way to pull this off if it didn't happen, and to stick by your story. Somebody would have broken by now, at least. Someone would have broken back then. If you got the whole town hating you and thinking you're a group of murderers, that's going to happen. Okay, I don't see these guys. Almost some of them are almost strangers to each other, sticking to this. This is why I think this is one of the strangest and most legit stories as far as an abduction case goes, that I've heard. Travis says the reason he thinks they brought him aboard the ship was that discharge, that ray, that thing that hit him might have been an accident and it damaged him somehow, and they wanted to bring him up and repair him, fix him. I don't know. We don't know the motives of the aliens, but that's what he speculates upon. So anyway, this is the Travis Walton case. Now, if you want to go in here and comment on it and try and give your debugging 2 cents worth, I want to hear it. If you believe the case, I want to hear that too. I want you to like and I want you to subscribe if you don't mind. And I got to do some shout outs because I've been getting a lot of feedback, and I want to acknowledge that. First of all, I'd like to thank my buddies in the MISC, and I want to thank. I got my list here. Gordon Triple X, Russell U. Who else do we got here? That's on the miss. Byzantine 75 and Jandals. Let me make sure I can say Jandals' name right. He and I talk a lot. Yeah, Jandals. Thank you, Jandals. We see, and if there's Minister of Lust, he's another guy that comments on my stuff. And Polaris, thank you very much. DDSF1, thank you. CK4288, thank you. Any other Miskers I missed, let me know. Call me out on it. You know how to do that. And I'd like to thank Princess Olivia for listening. And I'd like to thank Becky Valens. You can see her for one of my videos too, my music videos. I want to thank Becky for chiming in and participating. So there's some shout outs for today, and the more feedback I get, I'm gonna be shouting out, from here on out, at least once a week. So that's the story of Travis Walton's abduction. Let me hear what you think. It's a very interesting story. It's got a lot of pieces, got a lot of layers, got a lot of things to peel back, and we can discuss it. So you take care, and I'm going to see you soon. Bye.